I feel like this video makes sort of a great sequel to my most recent one, because in that video I spoke about things I will most likely never buy again brand new. And in this one, I wanted to go over a list of things I will likely never buy in my life as a minimalist. I'll spare you the boring, obvious ones that have been in dozens upon dozens of videos similar to this one, and hopefully give you a bit of value in sharing my own thoughts and reasoning behind those thoughts. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you, and you end up liking the video, be sure to like, and please Kyoku Shinkai the subscribe button. Let's get started. Creator courses. Now, I'm definitely not here to bash any specific channel or anyone who's spent money on a creator course, because a handful of my favorite YouTube channels do have a course of some sort. I just personally am rather against it. Maybe I just haven't come across one that I feel like is worth the cost, but from the ones I have seen, they're teaching skills that can more or less be taught for free and learned with practice. I know that courses about creating videos can provide a lot of valuable insight and tips, but so can a free Google search or thousands of videos that exist for free on this subject. And I don't think anything that is said in these courses can't just be learned for free, again, on YouTube. There was one channel, I think sometime earlier this year, that I followed for a long time, and they came out with a creator course for about $300, and they got a lot of backlash for it. I'm not even sure if they still have it up, but I know they took the video they had up on their channel promoting this course down off their channel. I think it's highly lucrative to do as the creator selling this course, because you could probably make a lot of money, and if you feel like you're providing a lot of value, it does make sense. I just personally would never do it, and I've said it before, if you ever see me selling a course on this channel, please send help, because I'm definitely being held hostage. Anything bigger than what I need. You might think this is rather obvious, until you realize that most things that are bought and sold are much bigger than we can ever need. The most glaring example of this is with cars, where I believe even the manufacturing of small cars has decreased here in the US. And from my own personal example, I've always wanted a Toyota Tacoma, until I just realized I did not want a big car, especially if I didn't need one. Perhaps one day it'll make sense, but today it doesn't. From my backpack to my iPad, I chose the smaller, or in the case of the iPad, mini variation. Anything bigger than what I need, I sometimes mean in bigger quantity as well, because this leads to spending in so many ways. Oftentimes because I would see a sale where an item would be cheaper per item if I bought two, where I originally just wanted one to begin with. It would just lead me to spending more than I had initially planned walking in, and leaving with more items because I thought I was getting a good deal. Following this mindset was pretty expensive, not to mention highly wasteful. Alcohol. Now, if there's anything on this list that has like a 0.1% chance of me actually buying again, it is this. And that's just because it would have to be a very specific scenario. I've never been too much of a drinker anyways, but what I do remember from going to bars is that it is laughably expensive. And that 1% chance of me actually buying alcohol out would be if I'm going to a joust or some other family event, but on a regular basis, absolutely not. In my opinion, it's way too expensive for what is gained, which is usually just a migraine. So for me, it won't be happening. Anything with large graphics or logos. Relatively in line with the stereotype of minimalists wearing plain clothes, I don't think I'll ever buy anything again with a large graphic or logo on it. I actually talked about this years ago in a video, and have several reasons why this is the case for me. One of those reasons being, I don't want the attention a big graphic on a t-shirt draws. I know it might sound really stupid, but don't look at me. The solid colored t-shirts I've been wearing for years have proved to be timeless, and at least to this point, I'm still not tired of them. And this idea isn't limited to clothes either. As much as I'm able to, I generally go for the most plain looking variation of things. My phone case and my hat, for example, can just be exactly what they are without a fancy design or a sports team on them. I of course don't go out of my way to avoid logos entirely, if that's even possible, but sticking with this idea has made the decision-making process for clothes and other things much more streamlined. Meaningless decorations. Decorations, knickknacks, or whatever you want to call them, were never really something I ever found myself buying, even way before leaning into minimalism. I wanted anything I had on display in front of me constantly to have some sort of purpose or value to me whenever I would see it. Which is why I intentionally said meaningless decorations. My work area and the areas I spend a lot of time are decorated with things that at least serve a small purpose, even if that's just to take a quick look at and feel good. Everyone's opinion of what is worth keeping out on display will vary greatly, of course, from person to person, but I generally think a good piece of advice is to evaluate if you have any decoration or anything out just for the sake of filling up empty space. Years ago, I remember I had this painting on my wall for a few years, and I never liked it for a second. I don't know why I never just took it down. One thing I personally do to decorate for the holidays is to just change the wallpaper on my phone and computer. It's free, doesn't take up space, and is almost zero effort. Smartwatch. Now please take no offense from my opinion on smartwatches, because this is simply my opinion, and I can totally see how they would make sense for some people in certain instances. I've actually owned an Apple Watch in the past, and while it's definitely neat and makes some things very convenient, I just found myself missing my plain old watches so much. Not to mention, I stare at enough screens throughout the day, and a smartwatch just isn't one that is essential for me. But playing video games is, go figure. I'll admit it was really nice to have when I was going out on runs and working out, but once again, not exactly a must-have for me, even in those cases. Because at the end of the day, it's just another piece of technology, which inevitably becomes dated, has issues, obsolete, and is just more expensive than the watches I wear. I've said it before and I'll say it again, my black G-Shock that I got back in 2016 still gets the job done for me. I actually got this at Sports Authority when they were going out of business, and I've had zero issues with it ever since. I can almost guarantee there's going to be a part 2 and maybe even a part 3 for this video, but I'll leave it at that for now. I hope you got some value from this video and some value from my insights as to things I will likely never buy again. And anyways, as always, I appreciate the time you spent here and I appreciate you watching. If you did like this video and you like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.